Today we are going to learn how you can get some help for mental health issues. And there's kind of a stigma around mental health, which I think we need to do away with. One of the ways you can help is by actually seeking help when you need it, because I've had a lot of friends who have been through therapy. I've been through therapy myself, and most of those friends really have their lives together, because one of the things that happens if you're afraid to get help, or you're giving into the pressure of the stigma, is, well, life is hard, right? And sometimes you're going to need some help, and sometimes you're going to need some professional help. And if you waste 5 or 10 years of your life trying to deal with depression or anxiety that's just crippling, well, you're not going to become everything you can be, and you're going to waste a lot of your time dealing with something that a professional can help you with. So we need to make sure that if we need help, that we're seeking it. And I'm going to show us how to do that with insurance and everything else, and how we can set this all up. So let's jump right in. A lot of times with help, you are getting help for just putting your life together, because again, you're young and life is hard, and you haven't had a whole lot of time to get everything you need to get put into place in your life. And we're trying to do that with this class, but therapists a lot of times are helping you with this. So just because you go see a therapist doesn't mean you are going on medication. These therapists are going to help you with coping mechanisms and putting aspects of your life together. So I really think you should consider it if you need it, right? Here's some things of when to seek help. So let's say you're feeling down, depressed, anxious, whatever it is, and this has been going on for several months. We'll learn in class some things you can do, like exercise, hanging out with people, and so on, just a healthy lifestyle that can help you. But if you see no improvement over several months, that's an indication you should seek some help. If you have improved a little bit, but you still don't feel like yourself after several months, maybe you should get some help then. Or if your symptoms get worse, then that's definitely a time to get some help. So let's get in here. And a really good first step, now we can skip this as Boise State students, but for anybody else or after you graduate, is a doctor's visit. And even if you are a Boise State student, I think a doctor's visit might be a good option. So one of the things about mental health is your body impacts your mind, and vice versa. Your mind impacts your body. And so sometimes we can have health issues like infections, autoimmune disorders, thyroid issues that can affect our hormone balances, how we're feeling, all kinds of stuff. And so a doctor's visit can kind of rule some of these things out, and they can do some other things too. Like they have some questionnaires, so they can give you a questionnaire, see if you do have the symptoms of depression or anxiety, and then from that they can give you a referral or a recommendation. With referrals, sometimes for outside therapy clinics for insurance to be used, you need a doctor's referral. So that's a good move. For Boise State, again, we can skip that step. But a doctor's visit is a great first place to start. Now with insurance, a lot of us are on our parents' insurance, and so we have to tell our parents, kind of if we're going to use it, because they will get a notification that their services are being used. So that can bring up some fear, because we don't want to disappoint our parents. And for some reason, we think if we're depressed, we're disappointing our parents. But most of your parents, if you let them know, they're going to be happy that you're letting them know. And this is a good moment in your life to practice some humility, right? Because you're going to need help in life, and some courage, like building up the courage to let your parents know that you actually need some help. Another way you can go about it is you can get a doctor's visit first, tell your parents you're not feeling well, and then the doctor, you can say, recommended that you get some counseling, and so you think you should do it. So that's another way to attack that. And I'll show you some non-insurance ways as well. If you're too scared to contact your parents, maybe your home life isn't great, or if you just want to, maybe you just don't have insurance. So good news about most insurances these days is your first 10 sessions may be covered. And if you don't know, you can go talk to a doctor or a therapist, and they can run your insurance, and they can tell you what services you qualify for and what the cost will be. So don't shy away from looking into that. Now, if you don't have insurance, we have some free options here, or some cheaper options. nami.org is a great place. They have a free helpline. You can call them up. I called them up. Works pretty good. You can also text the number 741-741. Or text NAMI to that number, and it's really easy. They'll send you some links. You can talk right there and get started. So I highly recommend that, especially if you need help right now. It's a good free option. Boise State also has some groups just like NAMI. Let me show you these groups online. So this is the Treasure Valley NAMI site right here. And they got a help group every single night. And this is all online, so you can just log in via Zoom. They got online peer support groups. They got women's support groups. And then they have family support groups. So if somebody in your family is struggling, you can go there and see how you can help your family. So some really good resources there. Boise State also has some groups here. Particularly for us, we have the ongoing mental health management group meeting on Thursdays and the stress less counseling group. So I'll put these links below so that you can visit them, check them out. Really great resources. I highly recommend group therapy for a start if you're kind of hesitant to go through the doctor or schedule a visit or whatever. You can go to a group. This also gives you a community, like a support group, right? And social interaction and a community around you is important. And so if you don't have a whole lot of people you can go to in Boise, these groups, boom, there you go. Now you're in a group and you have some support, and you're going to need that in life. So I highly recommend that. Let's jump back over here. Some other options. We have some online therapy options that are cheaper. And then we have some low-cost traditional options. So I'll show you this Open Path Collective. This might not be the best option now, but it might be in the future. So I'll bring that up. And then Boise State, if you don't have insurance, maximum it's $30 a session, which is a really good price. And you know, maybe you're going to need 4 sessions and you think $120 is a lot of money. Dealing with your issues now is probably going to save you money in the long run, because let's say it costs you $120 to get help now with something that you would be struggling with for the next 6 years. Well, if you're not struggling with that for the next 6 years, you're probably going to make way more than $120 that it's going to cost you. So let me show you these cheap options here. Here's some online therapy, right? So with Herd, you got $25 a session, and then these sessions are a little bit more money. And again, they're online, but this is just an option for you. I think Boise State's options are probably the best for you right now. Again, $30 a session. You can just email health services at Boise State, or you can give the health services desk a call. Again, I'll link that below for you. And you can get easy treatment without going to the doctor and without insurance. And if you can't afford the $30 a session, you can negotiate, and they can do some things looking at your income to maybe get a lower price. So highly recommended there. And then just some traditional therapy. Again, with Boise State, you're meeting on Zoom because of coronavirus. Good thing about Boise State is they have therapists that are there for years, right? And so you can develop a relationship. And that's one of the things that's beneficial about seeing a particular local therapist, is that maybe you only need help for a month right now, right? So you go to 4 sessions, and then 3 years down the road, you need help again. Well, you've already established a rapport with one of these therapists, so you can maybe go back and see them. Now, maybe not at Boise State, but if you find a therapist in the community. So I have 2 other options for therapists in the community. Maybe if you don't go to Boise State, or, you know, after you graduate. Let's check those out real quick. So right here, the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration has a website where you can type in your location, any location in the U.S., and they have all substance abuse and all mental health centers listed. And so you can scroll down. They got the contact information. You can contact them, ask about costs, how to set it up, and they can direct you. So that's a really good resource. And then if you want to pick your therapist, because not all therapists are really good, right? There are good therapists and there are some less good therapists. And sometimes you just want to find somebody that you jive with. You know, people have different personalities. And so you can kind of search, like, what you're looking for. So you type in your area. So we have Boise, Idaho here. Maybe anger management is what you're working with. You want some telehealth. You can just kind of sort through people, and then you can look at them, kind of read their bio, determine if that's a person you want to see. And sometimes you might want to see somebody for 2 sessions and you determine they're not the person for you, and you might want to check out another therapist, right? Because again, there are better ones and there are worse ones, and there are ones that are going to mesh well with you and ones that aren't going to mesh well with you. And so you kind of got to work your way through the process, but I highly recommend getting help. You know, you don't want to waste years of your life being depressed or anxious. So if you have good options or good treatment therapies or links or whatever, you can put those in the comments below or share those on our Discord page. Check out Blackboard, complete the assignment with this video, and I will see you in the next one.